Hello children, the topic of my discussion today is compound interest. You can say the elder system of simple interest. Simple interest you have been doing since 6th standard. It is mostly similar to this only, little changes which I'll make you understand, and the topic will be very easy for you. Now starting with it, see. Simple interest you have studied is P into R into T upon 100, where P is principal, R is rate and T is time, which all of you know. In compound interest also we are going to do the same, especially in without using formula. The first topic which I am going to talk to you is about compound interest, but without using formula. We have two types of compound interest chapters in this concise mathematics of your 9th standard. One is with using formula, one is without using formula. Today I am going to discuss without using formula. As I say the word without using formula, that means the formula which is to be used is of simple interest, P into R into T upon 100. Then what is the difference? You will ask, ma'am, what is the difference then? The difference which I am going to tell you is right now you must understand very nicely. Okay, come to the board now. Board must be clear to you. I have written compound interest chapter 2, and over here I am writing without using formula. Using formula. So we have already studied that SI is equal to P into R into T upon 100 in our previous classes. Now what is the difference between SI and CI? Compound interest we denote by letter CI in abbreviation. First of all, CI is interest on interest. Interest on interest means on interest is added to the principal, and next year when you have to pay the interest, you have to pay it on the new principal. For example, see, if I have P into R into T upon 100, first of all I will take time in units. Time to be taken in units. Unit wise means if I have, for example, 3 years, I will calculate 1,1,1. Second, amount for the first year will become the principal for the second year. Remember children, this is the base of this chapter. You can say mantra of this chapter, that amount for the first year will become the principal for the second year, and time to be taken unit wise. And above all, I want to tell you something, that compound interest is always greater than simple interest for same principal and same time, unless some other conditions are given. Usually compound interest is greater than simple interest. This is what we are going to follow now. The chapter is very easy. I made you understand in a very small concept that formula of PRT to be used, that is simple interest, and the amount for the first year will become the principal for the second year, and time to be taken unit wise. If I do the sums, it will be more easier for you, because that is the practical application of this formula. Okay, coming to exercise 2A, question number 2, second part. See, exercise 2A, I have, first of all, my first thing is I am going to calculate the data. I am going to take out the data from the problem as it was written in the question. 8,000 in 2.5 years at 15% per annum. So see, 8,000 rate 15% times 2.5 years. The first thing I told you was time to be taken unit wise. So I took the time unit wise. In the data itself I have written 1, 1, half. 2.5 years, 1, 1, half. Then I have asked you to use the formula of simple interest for compound interest without using formula, because for using formula we have a different formula which I will talk about in the later videos. Now see, simple interest SI1. See, usually when we used to do in the previous classes, we never wrote 1 at the bottom, but now I am writing SI1. 1 denotes that you are calculating for the first year. So SI1, P1 into R into T1 upon 100. That means P1 is principal for the first year, rate is same, and T1 is the first unit. So 8,000 into 15 into 1 upon 100, because time to be taken unit wise, and you calculate it. And calculations before also I have said, please do it in the rough column and check twice before you finalize the answer. Then amount 1, you know it is, amount is always principal plus interest. So यहाँ पे I have written 1. 1 means principal plus interest. P1 plus I1. P1 plus I1. Only once you have to mention the formula in the question. Formulas to be mentioned because they carry marks. 8,000 plus 1,200, 9,200. And of course SI2, whatever was the amount in the first year will become the principal for the second year. You will write like this. I am writing with the red pen so that you are very clear about it. See the presentation I am giving, and this type of presentation you are going to follow in the paper. So P2. Now for the second year, SI2, P2 into rate into T2, that means 9,200 into 15 into 1 upon 100. Again calculate it and find amount 2. Amount 2 will be P2 plus I2. This is your amount 2. And now this will become principal for the third year. What I taught you in the beginning, that whatever the amount for the previous year will become the principal for the next year. Similarly for the next year, I calculated the interest, then I calculated the amount same formula which we have been doing since so many years, P plus I, and this is your final amount, first answer. Final amount, don't forget to put rupees since we are talking about the money. And then what is compound interest? Compound interest can be calculated in two ways. Either you subtract the original principal from final amount. I am talking original principal from final amount, or you can add the three interests like 1,200, 1,380, and of course the third one is 793.5. If you add 3, then also you can get some compound interest. So two methods, either you subtract the original principal, I said the original principal from final amount, or you add the 3 interest, SI1 plus SI2 plus SI3. So this is the basic concept of the compound interest without using formula. We will use the formula of simple interest. Only thing is that whatever the amount for the first year will become the principal for the second year. Please remember this line, and time to be taken unit wise. In 3 years, 1, 1, 1, 2.5 years, 1, 1, and so on. And this exercise is totally similar, little difference. Different questions I have discussed. I'll mark the main points, so be careful about it. Similarly, question number 3, second part. See, in this question, the only difference is, I am reading the question, that 16,000 in 3 years, when the rate of the interest was successive years. Please underline this word, successive year. Question number 3, second part, page number 28. Successive means this time the rate also changes with the years. 16,000, SI1 16,000 for first year, the rate was 10%, and there were 3 years. I took the time unit wise, 1 upon 100. So I got the interest and again the amount. Whatever the amount for the first year became the principal for the second year. Similarly, for the second year, when I took the principal, it was 17600, but the rate you will take 14%, because for the second year the rate was 14%. Means for the second year the bank has increased, or the person has increased the rate. So for second year I took 14%. Then again the time was 1. Again calculated, same method, amount 2. Amount 2 will become the principal for the third year, P3. For P3 my rate was 15%, so I took 15% and calculated in the same way. At last I got A3, this is my final amount, and compound interest will be calculated. That means compound interest is original principal to be subtracted from the final amount, or you add the 3 interest, that will also give you compound interest. The only difference here was successive rates. Successive means every year rate is also changing. Not in every question you will get it, but in which question you get it, to do like this. Then come to question number 4. A little difference again, a very easy one. Find the compound interest correct to nearest rupee. I have written here correct to nearest rupee. This carry full 1 mark. How come? The question is totally same as we have done before. You please write the data, because you have to write the data first. Data means principal was 2400, rate was 5%, and time was 2.5 years. So time I took unit wise, like time I am writing here, 2.5 years means 1.5. So I have told you to write the data in the beginning. You are going to write it as I have done in question number 2 second part or third second part you will do here also. Then you calculate SI1 in the same way as I did in the last two questions. Then amount 1 which will become principal for the second year, P2 similarly this is P3, and you will get amount, at the last you will get amount 2712.5, and they have asked you to calculate the interest. So interest will be final amount minus original principal. This is 312.15. So you will say, ma'am, what is the difference? It is same. No, children. See, correct to nearest to P means you will only take the integral part. Integral part means the numbers before decimal. In case I am telling you it was 312.5, then you have written like this 313. If 5 and above, then you round off to next number. Otherwise it was 312.15, so the answer was rupees 312 to the nearest rupee. It means to the nearest rupee. If you will not do this step, you will get 3 marks out of 4 because full 1 mark is to be deducted from here. So that is why I attempted this question, because you must know about it. Writing to the nearest rupee means what? Be very careful, and in the question also please underline it. Question number 4. Correct to the nearest rupee, page 28. Please underline this word, line these 2-3 words, so that when you do the sums, you are careful about it. Okay. Moving on to the same lines, now I will do question number 6. Again a very simple one, just the language to be understood. The question is, A borrowed rupees 2500 from B. A borrows rupees 2500 from B. Borrows, you know what it is. Borrows means the principal is rupees 2400. So here children, the principal is rupees 2400. Principal rupees 2400. Rate is also given. Rate was given to be, the rate is given to be 12% per annum CI. So rate is 12%, and of course the time is given 2 years. 2 years means 1,1. Now SI1, same method, 2400 into 12 into 1 upon 100. You calculate the amount first. 24 into 12 you can do in the rough column, and this will come equal to, almost when you do 24 into 12, this will be 24 or 2500. The principal was rupees 2500. So you please calculate it, 2500. I am mistaken, 2500, this will be rupees 300. Then A1 is equal to 2500 plus 300. That will be 2800 rupees. Please don't forget to put the units. SI2, 2800 into 12 into 1 upon 100, and again you calculate it in the rough column as I have done before also. This is 336. So what will be your A2? A2 will be 2800 plus 336. Till now you have followed the formula. Add it. This is 8311 and 3136. So this much amount he has to give after 2 years. What happens? What money he has having at the last of 2 years is 2936. Money is having 2936. So what he decides? He decides to give this much money plus a watch. I have to calculate the value of watch. In fact, 2936 plus watch, the amount after 2 years is equal to 3136. So you have to calculate the value of the watch, and it is very clear. Cost of the watch, WATCH watch, will be equal to 3136 minus 2936. 0, 0, 11 minus 9, 2. So rupees 200 is the cost of the watch. Again, I am making you understand the question. He says that after 2 years he has to return the money, but he is only having 2936. So what he decides to give a watch. So you have to calculate by the formula what money was due. After you find the money, you have to calculate the watch. For him, 2936 plus watch is the amount. From question it came out to be 3136. And when you will equate both of them, you will get the cost of the watch, and this is what we had to find. I hope you have understood. This question is important because it has come in the first term last year as well as in the pre-boards. So be careful, children. Then come to question number 9. Govind borrows rupees 18,000 at S site. Little different question, so I wanted to discuss with you. Otherwise, everything is same. So he said that the money has been borrowed at rupees 18,000. Principal is rupees 18,000. Rate is 10%. But at CI, I am writing here SI, sorry, at SI. Simple interest formula, you know it is very easy. For 1 year he has said, so 1 into 10 upon 100. So simple interest, he got the interest to be 1800. Then immediately what he did, he gave this money, same money, principal is rupees 18,000 at CI now, but compounded half yearly. That means time was 1 year only, but he took 1 year, but he took the interest 2 times in the year, that is half yearly after every 6 months. So there will be 2 half years in 1 year. Half yearly unit wise you are going to calculate, children. This is the question. Now you find CI, same method. SI1, you will write 1. This will tell you the difference between simple interest and compound interest. So this is again 18,000. Same rate, 10 into 1 upon 2 into 100 because it was calculated half yearly. So first answer will be rupees 900. Again, your amount one will be 18,000 plus 900, that is 18,900. S side 2, 18,900 into 10 into again half into, you must have understood half because it is written in the question that 10% CI compounded half yearly. Please underline it, question number 9. Fourth line, 10% compound interest compounded half yearly for 1 year. So again you can calculate it. See 2 5s are 10 and you after multiplying you will get rupees 945. You can do it, you will get the answer. So total CI will be 18,000, or you can calculate like this, 900 plus 945 because I told you 2 ways. Either you add the SI1 and SI2 or you subtract the original principal from the final amount. Both way you will get same answer, so you will get 1845 here. Now he says, just tell me how much he has gained. Very simple. When it was simple interest, he got 1800, but when it was compound interest, he got 1845. So what was the difference between the two? Simple interest 1800, CI minus SI. CI is 1845 minus 1800. So you are left with rupees 45. I told you 2 ways to calculate CI. Either you add the simple interest, that is SI1 plus SI2, or you subtract the original principal from the final amount. You will get the CI. So after seeing the difference between SI and CI, see he got the profit of rupees 45. Just I want to say this thing again, that compound interest is greater than simple interest for the same principal, same time, same rate. Some specific conditions are there, but for now means you take CI to be greater than SI because it is interest on interest. So this is your exercise 2A, children. If you have understood the basic, there will be no problem for you. You just remember the thing that amount for the first year will become principal for the second year and time to be taken unit wise. If they have mentioned half yearly, that means 1 year has 2 halves, you will write half comma half. If they say 2 years, then half comma, half comma, half comma, half comma. Just see the question whether it is written per annum or per half annum. Be careful about the language. That means you have to read the question once or twice before you start doing it. And the thing which I repeat again and again, that be very careful about the calculations. Please do the calculation in the rough column, check it twice, then only finalize your question. For that you need practice at home. So calculations, be very careful. Now coming to exercise 2B, same sums. I discussed the important sums which are of different types. Then of course you do it and your doubts are most welcome. You know that I am always there for you for your problems. Question number 1 of exercise 2B. Now try to understand the language first. He says calculate the difference between CI and SI. SI and CI on rupees 4,000. Very simple, children. Question number exercise 2B. Question number 1. Exercise 2B. Question number 1. Difference between SI and CI, where B is rupees 4,000. Rate is given. I have asked you to take out the data first. Rate is 8%. And time is of course 2 years. Time is equal to 2 years. So I am putting a line in between for SI. It is very simple. SI is equal to P into R into T upon 100. From here you will understand the difference more. 4,000 into rate is 8 and time is 2. Because it was simple interest, I calculated it directly. You multiply it and you will get your first answer. That will be rate 40 into 8 for the 32, 320 into 2. 320 into 2 and this will be 640 rupees, 640. Now for CI, I am writing here for CI, be careful children, same formula but now you will write SI1 because now I am going to take time 1, unit wise. SI1 4,000 into 8 into 1 upon 100. The first answer is 4 8 32, 320 rupees. Please be careful about rupees. Talking about money, then A1 will be 400 plus 320, 0234. Amount for the first year will become principal for the second year. Same method, 4320 into 8 into 1 upon 100 again. So you calculate it, do all the calculations in the rough column. You will get 466.5. 466.5 here calculated, and again amount 2 will be 4320, 466.5, add it 6, 8, 47. So your amount is 4786.5. Then 466.5 I got the answer. When I will add it, this is my SI2. Now they have asked me the difference between CI and SI. So children, remember now what to do. Difference between SI and CI. Again, this will be CI is equal to SI1 plus SI2. That means 320 plus 366.5. This will be 0.5, 6, 6 to 8, 6, 86.5. I got 686.5. And then when you calculate it with the difference between the two, will be the SI is smaller than CI, so you subtract CI minus SI will give you the difference between the two. So again you calculate it, see children, 8 to the 16, 1, 8 to the 24, this is 20, 24, 8 to the 16, 1, 8 to the 24, 25. 2, 8 for the 32, 8 to the 16, 1, 8 to the 24, 25, 2, then 8 for the 32, 33, 34. And your answer will be 345.6. So be careful about this children. Your calculation should be very 2, 5, 4 to 6, 466.5 is your final amount, and that means 320 plus 345.5, and that is your compound interest. This will be 0.5, again 5, 4 to 6, 366, 66.5 rupees. Then you have to find the difference between SI and CI. So 665.5 minus 640. This will give you the difference between the two, and this comes out to be 25.6. 25.6. your answer. So be careful, children. Again, I am telling you, be careful about your calculations. Do all the calculations in the rough column, because while doing it you get confused. So be careful about it. Check it twice, as I have done. 8 to the 16 to 8 to the 24, 8 to the 16 1, 8 to the 24, 25, 26. Then 4. This is your answer. If you are okay, done. So this is how you are going to do it. I have to make the question different. Understand that difference between SI and CI, SI is equal to P into R into T upon 100. This is the answer. SI1, SI2, whatever is the amount for the first year will become the principal of the second year. If you will add the two, interest, that is also CI. If you will subtract the original principal from the final amount, that is also CI. So you will get CI, then ultimately the question was difference between CI and SI. So that I have done at the last. Always CI is less than and greater than SI. So CI minus SI, 665.6 minus 640, and this is your required answer. This question is important for paper, so I have done it. But calculations should be very, very careful. Okay, coming to question number 3 of exercise 2B. Question number 3 of exercise 2B. Same sum, little difference. I'll just go through the language. A sum of money is lent at 8% per annum. Now most of you are confused whether we have to take X or we have to take 100. You can go both ways. But children, it is better to take X, because that way the concept is more clear. But if you find okay with 100, it is okay that way also. So I am going to give you with X because I find that method more easier. For example, sum of money. Let the sum of money be lent be rupees X. Let sum of money lent be rupees X. X. Now he says at 8% per annum. So rate is 8% per annum. If the interest of second year exceeds that for the first year, that means I have to go for the interest of 2 years. First of all, I am going to get it for SI1, because my time is 1, 1. SI1, SI2. X into 8 upon 100 into 1. So this will be 8x upon 100, or you can calculate 4 2s are 425. This is SI1. A1 will be X plus 2x over 25. Principal plus interest. This will be 27x upon 25. This is again, you can take 2 or you can take equal to P2, because whatever the amount for the first year will become the principal for the second year. Now 27x over 25 is my principal. Again 8 upon 100 is my rate and 1 is my time. So you calculate it again. 4 2s are 425. 54x, 2 7 are 40, 2 to the 4, 54x upon 625. This is my SI2. 54x upon 625 is my SI2. Now he says, number 2, he says that the difference means interest. Understand the word interest. Interest for the, it is not said amount. Interest for the first year, for the second year exceeds that for the first year. Underline it, children. Interest for the second year exceed means उससे आगे हो जाता है. Second year minus first year means 1 minus 2. According to question, you write here second SI2, write like this. SI2 interest for the second year exceeds SI1 by how much? By rupees 96. This is how you are going to do it. You can take 100 also, but better take X. So this is 54x upon 625 SI2 minus 2x upon 25 SI1 is equal to 96. Remember, they have said interest. not amount. So don't take amount not to be taken, because they're talking about interest for the first year, interest for the second year, and the interest for the second year is 96 more than the interest for the first year. Then you have to calculate calculations, and then you try to do it yourself. 54x minus, it will be, after calculating it, it must be like 50, because 25 is 25 to the 50x is equal to 96, or you can calculate the value of x, 4x is equal to 96 into 625, and x is your required principal. Don't forget to write the units. Whatever the answer you get, please do it. 96 into 625 will be your answer. So this is how you do it. I have taken with x, you can take with 100 also, but that way then you have to go for unitary method. So I prefer x because this is more easier. But if you want to go for 100, that is also very easy. No problem. You calculate SI1, SI2, just put 100 in the place of x. Then you can say if it was 100, then whatever the amount came, if 1, then 100 upon that, and if 96, then 100 upon that. Whatever came into 96, that will give you the answer. But this method is more easier, as you wish. Then come to question number 5th of the same exercise 2b, question number 5th, same exercise 2b, question number 5th, and page is 33. So I am going to the question. A man borrows rupees 5,000. So question number 5th, principal is rupees 5,000, and then it says at 12% CI, rate is 12%, and compounded interest payable every 6 months. See children, it is written every 6 months. So time is given to be 18 months. You read in the third line. Every 6 months means there are 3 units. Half, half, half. 6 plus 6 plus 6 come to be 18 months. I hope you followed. What does it mean? 18 months, brother, you have to take half, comma, half, comma, half, because you underline this line, compound interest payable every 6 months. He repays rupees 1800 at the end of every 6 months. So this is a new thing for you. 1800 to be repaid after every 6 months. You just understand what does it mean. I'll do it, then you will be able to follow more. So same method will start. SI1 5000 into 12 upon 100 into 1 upon 2. My first unit, 18 months, you can write here half yearly. It has been given in the question, half yearly, 18 months was the total time given. So I divided into 3 units. So you calculate it, children. This is your first, 2 6 are 12, and whatever you get. 6 5s are 30, 300. Please don't forget to put the units. First is 300. Then he says, it is very simple, listen to me carefully. Amount 1 will be 5,000 plus 300, that is 5,300. Now listen what the line 4th means. It means, 3rd means, he repays 1,800 at the end of every 6 months. Out of this, he repays 1,800, subtract it. This has been given back. 0, 0, 13 minus 8, 5, 4 minus 1, 3. Means of his final amount, which has to become the principal for the next year, he has already paid 1,800. So from the amount, first you will subtract 1,800. What left will be your principal for the next year? It means this. This is the language. 3,500 will be your principal. Then same method, 12 upon 100 into again half. 2 6 are 12, and this is again you cut it. 6 5 are 33, 6 3 are 18, 19, 20, 25. But this is your second interest, 210. I hope you followed. Then what will be the amount 2? Amount 2 will be 3,500 plus 210. This will be, you can add it at the side, 1 5 2 7 3 7 1 0. Again he paid out of this amount 2 3 7 1 0. He repays 1,800. Every time after every 6 months he is paying this much money back. 1 17 minus 8 9, 2 minus 19 10 rupees. This will be the principal for the third year. Did you follow me? This will be the principal for the third year. Now, after giving this, you can subtract it. See, 1 minus 17 minus 8, 9, 2 minus 1. But every time he is giving 1800 rupees. So this is my principal 3. Then he has asked you to calculate, find the amount of loan outstanding at the beginning of the third year. Children, end of the second year means beginning of the third year. End of the second year means beginning of the third year. Okay. He asked me calculate the third payment he has to make at the end of 18 months. Now we'll go for SI3. SI3, I'm rubbing it here. SI3 will be 1910 into rate is being given 12 upon 100 into 1 by 2. Again, third unit. So I have calculated all the 3 units, half, which comes in 18 months. Because he has said that it is half yearly. So you calculate the rest. This is 12, and whatever the answer you get, you calculate it. You will get the answer in the decimals this time. This is around 229.2, whatever you get, 229.2, I have already calculated. So amount 3. He said find the amount or the third payment he has to make at the end of 18 months. Whatever the amount you get here, 1910 plus 229.2. This is the amount. From here you will again minus 1800. So last payment, that is P4, or you can say amount 3, or amount which is standing at the end. This is the amount which is standing at the end of the third installment. After subtracting, you will get it. This was after you calculate it here at the side, whatever you get it. For example, 1910 plus 229.2. This is your minus again 1800. That will be your final answer. You calculate it yourself, you will get the required answer, whatever it is. So see children, this is the way we do it. Again, I have to tell you one thing more, that see children, the principal for the second year is equal to amount for the first year. This is what I am telling you from the beginning itself. But in this question, the amount which has come after the first year will not be the amount to be taken in the second step, because he is repaying 1800 after every half year. That means after getting the amount, you have to minus that amount which he is already repaying, because then the principal will come after subtracting that amount, that 1800 from the final amount. That will become the principal for the second year. Usually I tell you that amount for the first year is principal for the second year, but in this question, especially in this case, because he is repaying 1800 back, so you have to subtract in the every step. Be careful about the calculations, so you know better. Each calculation to be done very nicely in the rough work column, so that it is not difficult for you to get the right answers. Then coming to the next question, that is question number 7. It's a little different, but a very easy one. Over here a word is used, a manufacturer, just read the question with me, question number 7, page 33. Manufacturer estimates that his machine depreciates. Please underline this word. Depreciate means decrease. Depreciate word means decrease. Because you know that as the mobile, for example, as the mobile come out of the box, the value immediately start decreasing. Depreciation means decreasing. The machine value is decreasing by 15%, depreciate by 15% of its value at the beginning of the year. So I don't have anything here, the value is not being given to me, so I'll take the original. Now one example I'll give with the 100 also now. If any of you want to go for 100, you want to suppose 100, that example I'm giving, question number 7 for example. Let the value of the machine be 100. Both examples I have given you. First I gave you example with X, now with 100, so that it is clear to you. Rupees 100. He says that it depreciates by 15%. So first depreciation is 15% of 100. That is 15 upon 100 into 100. That is, so value, or you can say amount after depreciation. After depreciation is equal to 100 minus 1585, because it was depreciation, because it was decreased, so I subtracted. Usually I always add, but the word depreciation was used, so I subtracted it. So 100 minus 15, that is equal to 5. Now he says, how many years? Find the original cost of the machine if it depreciate by 5355 rupees, 5355 during the second year. That means you have to go for the second year also. The second year, what will be the depreciation second year? Depreciation for second year will be again 15% of 85, because he said that it depreciates by 15% every year. It is depreciating, it is very clearly written that it depreciates 15% of every year. So 15% of 85, you can calculate it. 17s or 20s or after calculating multiply it, and multiplying you will get around 5 4s or 5 3s, 51 upon 4. So this is your depreciation in the second year. Now you read the question again. I am underlined it because it makes the difference, because this type of step you are going to relate with the question now. He says, find the original value of the machine if it depreciates by rupees 5355 during the 5355 during the second year. Now you use your unitary method, that if second year he has not said 2 years, he has said second year only. I am taking second year only. If 51 by 4 depreciation in second year, then value is rupees 100. If it is 1, then value is 100 upon 51 by 4. And if it is rupees 5355, I suppose 5355, then 100 upon 51, you take 4 into 5355. Calculate it, and that is your required answer. When you will calculate, the answer will be, you can cut it, directly you cut this will be cut by, of course I have done it, so it will be 105, and that will be your required answer. Multiply it and 42,000 you will get it, which is the value of the machine at the beginning. I have calculated this in the rough column, so that you also do it, check it twice, all the calculations to be done. We divide 5355 by 51 and you will get your required answer. See, 250 525. I have done it in front of you, so you don't see that I have not done it. So this is 105, that is what got the answer. Then you multiply it and you will get your required answer. 105 into 4 into 100, this is 42,000 was the value of the machine in the beginning. But this is depreciation. Depreciation, I hope you understood the word. After finding the amount, you have to minus the value, not plus, because it is depreciation. Now coming to question number 10 of the same exercise. All other are same, and your doubts are most welcome. Before that, question number 9, I'll make the language clear to you. Please read along with me. 9th question, page 33, exercise 2B. A man saves rupees 3,000 every year and invest it at the end. Please underline this line. Invest it at the end means amount 1 is 3,000. Amount 1 is 3,000. End means amount. Just identify the words, it will be more clear to you. End means amount. That means already A1 has been given to you. Question number 9, A1 is 3,000 which will become the principal for the second year, and then the same way. Just wanted to make you understand the first line. So first amount you know it is 3000 will become principal for the second year. Then you have to calculate SI2 directly because end was written, so I took it as A1. Then it is 3000, of course, rate has been, I'm giving you the hint and everything you know how to do it, write the data, write the units, write the formulas, you know everything. Into 10 into 1 upon 100, this is 300, and of course amount 2 will be 3300, and please be careful about the units. I'm telling you again and again, SI3 will be 3300 into 10 into 1 upon 100. Again you get your answer 330, and then A2 will be, A3 will be now 3300 plus 330, that is 3630 will be your amount 3. Now what he has asked you to calculate the total amount of his savings at the end of third year. The total savings will be amount 1 plus amount 2 plus amount 3. I hope you followed. Total savings will be amount 1 plus amount 2 plus amount 3, and that will give you, that means 3000 plus 3300 plus 3630, and that is your required answer. See, be very careful. You just underline the line also. Total amount of his saving means you have to add all the three amounts, A1 plus A2 plus A3, and that is your answer. Then come to question number 10, again a little different, but the method is same, just a language problem. A man borrows rupees 10,000, same exercise, question number 10, exercise 2B. A man borrows rupees 10,000. Principal is rupees 10,000. Rate is given to be 5% CI. 5% CI, per annum CI, you can say. Write the data nicely. And then now listen to me again. He repays 35% of the sum borrowed at the end of first year. 35% of the sum borrowed. Repays 35% of the sum borrowed, children. Borrowed means he borrowed. Principal is always borrowed. Be careful about it, borrowed. I'm again writing it. 35% of the sum borrowed. Repays. So this is what he repays, 3500. Sum borrowed. Now you calculate SI1. SI1 is 10,000 into 5 upon 100 into 1, and you are left with 500. 500 is your SI, and amount will become, A1 will be of course 10,000. Till now you have understood how to add it, 00501 rupees. And please be careful about the units everywhere because units matters. Then what will be now? Does my question, this is my amount for the second year? No, this is not my principal for the second year because he has repaid 3500. So you subtract that first. Same I have done before also. Rupees 7,000 will become your P2 because 3500 has been repaid after the end of first year. This is what I am trying to make you understand. Now you calculate SI2 but on 7,000 into 5 upon 100 into 1. So again this is 7 5 35, 350. So what is your amount now? 7,000 plus 350, that is 7350 rupees. Let me see the condition now. And 42% of the sum borrowed at the end of the second year. Be careful, children. 42% of the sum borrowed. Sum borrowed was 10,000, so repayment will be, I am writing at the side, he pays 42% of the sum. Sum was 10,000, that means 4,200 he has repaid. Rupees 4,200 he repaid. I have to find how much must he pay at the end of the third year. So how much he has to pay at the end of the third year means after subtracting 4200 from amount 0501 3 minus 2, 7 minus 4, 3 will become principal for the third year. Now you know what to do. SI3 I have to calculate 3150 into 5 upon 100 into 1. Every step I have subtracted. First step I subtracted 35% of the sum borrowed because he repaid after first year. After first year, when you get the final amount, you have to subtract 3500. Then only you will get the principal for the next year. Then again 4200, again subtracting principal for the third year. So repayment means giving back the money after the first, second or third installment, whatever. So he says what amount of money he has to. So again calculated same method. This you will get. This after multiplying 5 by the 25 to 5 by the 5, 6, 7, 5 6 15 upon 10, that means 50 rupees 157.5. This is SI3. So amount 3 will be 3150 plus 157.5. 3150 plus 157.5, and that is your required answer. 3307.5. You calculate it and you will get the answer. The main purpose was to make you the concept understanding, that concept to be more understanding that repays means after every year he is repaying some much of few amount of the money so that his interest becomes little low. So after first year he repaid 3500, but of the sum borrowed. Don't take amount. Sum borrowed means principal. Similarly, after subtracting 3500, I got A2, P2. Then again after subtracting 4200, because in the end of the second year he repaid 42% of the sum borrowed. So children, listen to me again and again. Listen the video again and again. Then only you will be able to clear the concept. And then calculate the sums to the last, and I am sure you will be able to understand it, and there will be no problem in questions of CISI. Once the basic concept is clear, then only calculations are left, and calculations are in your hands. Rough columns, big registers, you can do it again and again. Don't leave the calculation for the exam that I will do there, then you won't get it. Practice them. Don't use calculators. Try to do it yourself. Thank you so much. In next video, I'll give you the solutions of next 2 exercises. Watch this before that and be clear about the concept. Thank you so much, children. Have a good day. Thank you.